Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Thursday morning. Want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well as seasoned. I have a quick word for you. Tap in. Happy Thursday morning, guys. Very quick word. Clear download for someone. It's not for me because I got it long ago, but it's for someone, and I wanted to share. God may not be saying no to you. He may be saying slow down. He may not be saying no to you. He's saying slow down. What do I mean by all that? Okay, so you often hear people say things like, when there's a lot of resistance or there's a lot of chaos, that's not God, because God is of peace, right? And you should have this peace in your spirit and everything should kind of just unfold. Okay, let me be clear here. That's very, very true. Very true. Now, those of you who have a gift of patience, this will probably not relate to you because you already are patient enough to truly wait on God. But those of you like myself, whose patience is not your strong point, you're going to probably get ahead of God. Those of you who are like myself, who are visionaries, meaning God drops it in your spirit, He shows it to you, you know that you know that you know, but He doesn't tell you that you have to walk it out to achieve it or to, get to that process or that destiny. Then many times we get ahead of God. And then what happens is that's where that hastiness comes in at, because your lack of patience, you want what you want, especially when you see it, especially when you know that what God said to you was so profound in your spirit. You know it. So it's almost like, why do I have to wait? Why would you show it to me if you don't want me to go ahead and get it? Right? So people like yourself, right, and myself, I'm better now, right? Because let me just tell you, you will get, and that's why, again, everything is a process. This is why I tell people, don't let someone like kind of just shake you up about your process, right? Spiritual maturity it's a process. And so once you've had enough disappointments, once you spin your wheels one too many times, once you bumped your head enough, once you realize that your emotions does not move God, you will eventually get to a posture where patience come easy. Well, maybe not easy, but patience is a requirement. And you will not get some of the things released to you until God says it's time. So that resistance that you feel, all that tension and that chaos that you feel in your spirit, okay, the average person looking in may say to you, that's not God because it's too much chaos. That's not God because it's too much tension. That's not God because it's all over the place. But remember, they're giving it to you from a spiritual and I guess even logical standpoint. But they're not anticipating that it could be because of you. It's you. You're moving ahead of God. You're making 2 steps ahead of God. Even when God's telling you, sit down in this season, right? You're going to hit a bump in this season. Be still right now. But we're human, right? So our human nature, especially if you're in that fight or flight mode, you can't sit still. You got to make something happen, right? It almost feels unnatural to know that something is yours, but you can't do anything but just sit there. But that's how God works sometimes. Some blessings will literally fall in your lap easily. I mean, just easily. God will give you something and boom, it falls into your lap. And then there's other blessings, especially if it's a big blessing, right? That's going to impact other people. There's so many different things involved. God has to literally prepare you for that thing. See, we think we are ready for whatever it is. And all we're going to do is mess it up. So God knows us. So we can say all day long that I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. How are you ready for it? And you don't even know what's all coming. I mean, you got a vision, right? But see, God don't even like show you everything, right? He just kind of gives you that vision to kind of keep you grounded, to know that, okay, you're on the right path. Okay, I have something great for you. But then there's so much more things that's entailed that you don't know about. So he's preparing it for you. This is why God will hit you with, go write a book. And you're like, that's not even where I'm at in this season. Like, that's not even the topic that I was thinking about, right? He'll drop certain things in your spirit and it has absolutely nothing to do, so you think, with the promise. Or he may tell you to start going to therapy. And you're like, but I'm not even. He may tell you, hey, go start premarital counseling. And you're like, but I'm not even like checking for nobody, right? But he gives you these different, somebody just got that. He gives you these different downloads, and your obedience is going to have to be on fleek. Your obedience is going to have to be on fleek, because if he's giving it to you, it may sound like nonsense to you at the time, but it's for what's going to happen when he opens certain doors. Because see, it's going to be a domino effect. See, you're just thinking you're just getting this one particular blessing. But within that one particular blessing, there are going to be more blessings that unfold, then more blessings that unfold, right? And people who've already made it to due season can tell you that. Like, they only thought it was going to be one thing. And then it's like a domino effect. More people are calling you. More people want you to come and visit their platform. More people are trying to offer you deals to run certain things on your channel or whatever. It's a whole domino effect. So God is preparing you how to deal with these things and how to handle these things. So if you don't even have patience now, what's going to happen when all these domino effects happen? You're going to take everything that they throw at you. And don't have nothing to do about anything spiritual. They can have you wanting to promote their new dildo, and here you are because it's money. Okay. So, Lord, I don't even know where that came from. Lord, please forgive me. That was so petty. They can have you trying to promote certain things, and it's not even in alignment. It's not even in alignment to what you're doing. And because you haven't worked on that patience, and because you haven't worked on the certain areas that God is trying to really get you to work on now, you're going to fumble. And if you fumble, you're going back to level 1. So you went through all that process, all these years of frustration, all these years of processing, just to be thrown back to level 1 because you didn't get the lesson. So I want to encourage somebody, because there's a couple of things in my life now where I can remember people just saying, not people, but maybe a person or two would say something that was in contradiction to what I felt in my spirit. And I think, again, this is why God requires us to be quiet when we get certain spiritual revelations, because an outside person can't understand it, because they're not in your spirit to feel what you feel. They're just judging it, let it be from their own experience, or they're judging it by not realizing that your flesh is getting mixed up in there too. So you yourself is potentially what's causing this holdup and this delay, where they see it as, well, no, if that was God, it should have been happened. It should have been unfolded. No, it's you, boo. It's me, boo. It's us, boo. Everything is not the devil. So there's a couple of things, again, in my life now that I'm currently living in, and people couldn't understand it, or a person or two couldn't understand it. Like, what? I don't, that wouldn't make any sense. I don't see how God would get the glory out of that. Why would you pay for a homeless man and put him in a hotel when he's drunk as a skunk? He's drunk. So why would God want you, honey? Honey, let me tell you something. When you feel what you feel in your spirit, always go what you feel in your spirit versus what an outside person says to you. They're giving you what they would or would not do in the flesh. Remember now, God uses all of us differently. So for one person, you may not be a person where God have you planting seeds, right? So people can see God through you. It's almost like, wow, I'm a person in the world that no one has ever helped, not even my own parents. I've been an orphan all of my life. I've never, ever, ever seen someone help me, right? And so now God uses you as a vessel, literally a vessel to help someone. And this person is looking at you like, I've had several people tell me that. They'll say something like, I now ask God, why am I so special? Mr. Steve said that in the documentary. Why am I so special? I don't understand. Out of everybody in the world, why am I handpicked for someone to help me when no one has ever helped me? Why am I so special? Well, it surely ain't because of me, because I'd rather have a new Fendi bag, right? So it's God. God is using me as a vessel. He dropped something in my spirit, something so profound that I can't shake. So when other people are in my ear saying, well, I wouldn't do it because da, 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 I hear you and I get why you're saying that. What I'm telling you is I feel it in my spirit. It's not in your spirit. Now, do I jump ahead and get ahead? Yeah. And that's when I need logical people in, right? Because I would do something like, I'm not going to sit there and think it. And see, this is a perfect example. I'm glad it's coming up because it's a perfect example. Okay, I felt the download. I know what God said to me. So, okay, I'm going to do it, right? Regardless of what anybody says, because I feel it in my spirit. But now I'm going to jump full force. I'm not going to really sit down, and I do it for a moment. I just don't do it long enough. I have to pause and sit down to figure out all the intricacies. Okay, God, so what is the budget? Okay, God, so how long am I supposed to be involved before I just walk away? What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to just clean them up and get them a Bible? What am I supposed to do? Do I need to get food? That's what I really need to do. But my hastiness jumps ahead, right? And now I'm paying more for a hotel when I could get it half the price, right? Things like that. And so by me jumping ahead, it caused chaos. It caused chaos because now that you're in a hotel that's pretty decent, nice hotel, you can't be falling around drunk in these people place, right? You might can do that at Motel 6, no disrespect Motel 6, but okay. But if I would have peeled back and been patient, then God would have revealed to me that, hey, Motel 6 is a roof. Motel 6 does have a heater. But in my hastiness, I go and find the first thing, and then all this chaos erupts because you drunk on these people's floor. Lord, Mr. Steve, rest in peace, my friend. I miss you so much, right? It's chaos. And now you got the other people looking out from the outside like, see, that could never be God because God is of peace and there should not be any chaos. Honey, it can be God, but you yourself can cause the chaos. So through events like that, it has really taught me that even when I feel that profound download, I gotta sit. There has to be a moment where I sit and don't be so hasty to move. I want to be hasty to move because I feel it and I know what I feel. Like I'm so connected spiritually. Like I always know the feeling when I get it, but then I have to be patient or attempt or try harder to be patient to sit in it first so I can get everything that I need. Does that make sense? So if it's one of you and you're in a situation and you feel like people are telling you that's not God, because it should be easy as pie. Let me just tell you, some of the things that God calls you to is not easy. It's hell. So don't let people tell you now. Now some things are easy as pie. It flows like water. But don't abort something just because you feel like people don't understand. Don't abort something because you feel like there's a lot of tension and turmoil and it's like that can't be God because there's no peace. Ask yourself, are you getting ahead of God? Ask yourself or ask God, what season are you in? Because God will make it clear to you. You may be in a season of stillness while God is working some things out on the other side. but you're moving. Where instead, he needs you to be still. But you're moving. You're getting your hands in it. You're checking on it. You're looking at the social media page. You're doing this. You're doing that. You're getting ahead of God. And when you do that, God will get silent on you. And now that God is silent on you, you really think it's not God now because God is not answering you. He's telling you to leave him alone. I wanted to share that. I hope this can help someone. Only if it's one person. That's A-okay. You guys have a great one. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.